Hello, everybody. Welcome to the live stream. We're live. Good to finally be live again with Bob here. It's been a little while. A week. 2 weeks. Sorry.
Yeah, 2 weeks. And
Still need a weekly
just
poll.
so everybody knows, I was ready 15 minutes ago to go live, just so everybody's clear. James was drilling over a Japanese ride.
It was infatuating. It's one of my favorite shows of all time, so if any of you can cut me some slack, there's...
Alright. Oh, wait, so what do we... Oh, we still need the poll. I hate this poll. Oh, what's your predictions? That's what we should do.
Oh yeah, have an audience part of it?
Yeah.
Okay. But then we should probably give ours when we do theirs. Then when...
All right. Well, then I gotta think of something else for.
Just like we're just flip flopping between which part of the show we're gonna have something to talk about.
I don't know. We could move that last news story down to the second half.
That's cheating.
Just not really official. It's kind of speculation. What do you think?
Yeah, if you really want to, that's... I guess I'm not against it.
I predicted it on Twitter. Damn, are you the only one? Where's everybody else? Hey, Steph. How you doing tonight? Yeah, Pam, you're gonna fall asleep in like 15 minutes, so. You'll make it more than 15, but. Doing okay. I predicted it on Twitter. As soon as I said that we'd be live right at 9, I said I jinxed James's computer, and guess what? His Wi-Fi crapped out. Welcome back.
Should be good to go. Ethernet is in position. Stand by.
I might fall asleep.
Apparently we have
If
zero.
I fall asleep, James, just keep doing the show.
That could be the second half nap time.
I'm good with that.
Lollipop, lollipop, oh, lollipop.
All right. Well, are we actually ready to record?
Oh, yeah, if we're going to move that compound story down.
Yep. I see we do it. Then we can talk about Palace and stuff.
And that can lead into our predictions. I'm just kidding. No, I can't, because that's not what we're talking about. Lollipop, lollipop, oh, lolly, 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 lollipop. Oh, wait. Anybody in the chat that has not answered the weekly poll, please do so, because I don't think we got that many responses, even though it was a pretty easy poll to answer. It's really hard to gauge when people are going to be responsive and not. Like, I was sure this would be something that everyone just answered.
Very disappointed about this.
The lack of response or the poll itself?
The goings on of Montezuma's revenge. Yeah. Cedar Fair. You actually put it well last week. Cedar Fair's known for ruining good classics.
It's the one thing you can count on them for.
Yep. You have a good Woody. Nope. That's restraining you. Let's get ratcheting lap bars.
But still, it's still a good ride, though.
I don't know. It could definitely use some TLC.
Granted, I didn't ride it this year because I didn't have time, but... And they closed the effing rides an hour and a half early.
There was that.
I was going to ride it, actually, now that I remember it. We were over there, and I was like, oh, let's go ride Blue Streak. And then that's when that whole shebang happened. That's starting to piss me off again now. I inadvertently started a rant. Or you did, actually. You brought it up. You brought Blue Streak up.
I did.
A lollipop. Boom, 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 boom.
All right.
All right.
You ready?
Well, I need to test my audio first, actually. But yes, I'm
Well.
practically ready.
Well then, why don't you test your audio?
Yeah. Damn it. Boom, 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 boom. There's me in the corner. There's me in the starlight, losing my religion.
Isn't it? That's me in the corner, and that's me in the spotlight.
That's what I said.
It sounded like you said there's me in the corner, and you said starlight.
No. Did not. I did not say starlight for sure. I
That's
might
what you
accidentally said
did.
there, but I definitely did not say starlight. Play it back.
That's why we need a producer. We need some. We
I don't
need
understand
somebody
how
in
we
this
have.
booth.
It says on the actual graph here, it says we have 7 concurrent viewers, and then on the actual like data set, it says 0 are watching currently. Oh, YouTube, make your mind up. Are we losers, or are we champions?
Are there apps that can access YouTube streams through an API without actually using the YouTube interface?
Sure. Never really attempted to discover because I just use their analytics.
But I mean, that might make sense. Like, there's people watching it through another app. There's just
Yeah, I don't know.
like, for instance, like if somebody's watching on Roku.
That's still through YouTube though.
Yeah, but it's not actually a client. Like, there's no chat. There's no interaction features. Maybe
I
they
still
don't
think they would-
consider that.
But they would still show that as a concurrent viewer. I don't know. I don't know what they. I think they just might be lagging behind, possibly.
I mean, it's also YouTube. They make up numbers for the hell of it. Look, your advertisement's reaching 7 people.
You want to reach 7 more? Give us $10,000. That'll be $10.99.
While you're at it, would you like to join YouTube TV?
Red, yeah, whatever.
Whatever it's called now.
Premium red TV. Stupid as fuck.
Ha! See? Somebody else heard it the same way I heard it.
That is literally no. That is not. I know. I know who that is, and they're joking. That is one of my friends from school. Being an arse.
I think he's right.
I'm gonna go fucking listen to it. I mean, I know the lyrics to the song.
I'm not saying you don't know the lyrics to the
I
song.
might have. I shouldn't have. I would not have said that. Close the effing rides an hour and a half early.
Yeah, except you're not going to have school tomorrow, according to James.
Yeah, we should not have school tomorrow. I'm spending too much time on this. Oh wait, anybody in the chat?
RMC treatment.
I was sure this would be something that the live
I'd-
response or
I'd rather RMC actually do this one. Cedar Fair. You actually put it well last week. Cedar Fair's known for ruining.
yeah, that 2 hour delay is bull crap, man. It's not gonna get above like when we go in at 11, it's still gonna be below freezing. So I'm confused as to why their reasoning is because there's gonna be icy roads, but it's not gonna melt. It's gonna be 22 degrees still here in Richmond when they allow us to go into school. That isn't following the logic.
I see through your disguise, RC. The reason why I know that is because every time, like on my phone, every time I do an at you, it pops up with split, and then it then it changes it to RC as if my phone thinks I didn't notice.
Okay, well. I am... Oh, wait, no, I'm not. I forgot the main reason we weren't recording for a second there.
Yeah, Steph. These guys, they don't get it.
Lollipop? What? Get what?
The cold, like 20 degrees.
I know that's not like that cold, but it's still cold enough where the roads are going to be.
The difference is, Steph, like,
You
well,
guys are from the
PennDOT
true
and
north.
I guess ODOT for you, like, they're like on top of things. They know how to take care of the roads, but like down there, like,
We don't have a
well,
budget.
Huh?
We don't have a budget for this kind of things. We don't prepare for this.
They just send some guy walks and they just have some guy walking down the street with a backpack of salt. Just toss salt back over his shoulder.
Testing the audio, which is not working. Fantastic. I love it. Awesome. Oh, wait.
What?
I said testing my audio. That's not working. Let's see.
Of course it's not.
Hey, there we go. Now it's working. Awesome pants. Hey, there we go. Now it's working. Awesome pants. But it's like it's cutting out.
This is weird that all of you guys down south are getting hammered with snow and like nothing's happening up here.
That's because we know what it's like. I'm trying to make some, like, I don't know.
Well, I guess that might be an issue. That's one thing, like, PennDOT can't take care of roads for nothing. All they do is they, like, lay down barrels and close down a lane for, like, all summer. But when it snows, they're, like, on top of it.
This is really pissing me off.
But living here in West Virginia, I haven't got a real good sense yet of... It seems like they do a pretty good job. But...
Except that drive-by. That's pretty funny.
What?
That drive-by plow. That just...
Oh. Well, the thing about that, you could hear the video that his plow was down. Like, you could hear the scraping. It was like, what? It was so weird.
Hey! Hi. Why is this cutting out? I know why. I just forgot how to fix that now. Alright, hold up. It's gonna be like 5 seconds. If I can figure this out.
This is going to be 5 seconds, James said 20 minutes before.
It's bigger than you and me alone.
That's the other thing.
Hey, what's going on? Nope, still splitting up.
Usually, like, here in Martinsburg, I'm on the other side of the mountains. So, like, I get hit with snow, and Northern Virginia doesn't. But it's, like, been the other way around. I mean, we've been getting some snowstorms here, but, like, Northern Virginia seems a bit worse. It's on the wrong side of the mountains.
On the right side.
I guess.
You don't need off from school, Bob.
Depends on if you're looking north or south. I don't really care.
I was talking more
It's still just as weird.
figuratively, but yeah, if you're actually looking at the map, it's on the right side too, unless you're looking south, but nobody looks south at a map.
How do you know where people have scrolled on Google Earth?
Yeah, and then they look at it and they're like, oh, wait, I gotta change this because this sucks. I'm looking at DC from New York. Should be the other way around. How do you change the fucking settings for this mic? I literally know how to fix this issue. I just don't remember how to get to the thing. Hello. Hello. Oh my god. I'm not talking to you.
I know.
Hello. Hello. Hello, hello, hello. That's me in the corner. Hi. Oh my god, now it just doesn't work at all.
Oh my god, RC, are we gonna go through this whole thing? Well, we're actually talking about that, so.
Oh my Lord in heaven. Save my soul. I feel like this happens whenever Bob is here. When Timmy's here, this works fine. Like last week, we just got on and recorded. Some bullshit. Hey! Go F yourself.
Timmy's audio is cutting out.
I noticed that as well. He had his gain too low. So it was like, it must have, I think it has an auto gate on it. So when he was talking, he wasn't talking loud enough, so it would cut out some. Hi, I'm gonna...
Why do you have so
Hello.
much issue with this audio stuff?
It's because I'm running it through the voice meter program, and it doesn't want to work. It's crazy.
Why don't you just noise gate it after?
Because it's not the same. I don't like that.
It's not the
I don't
same.
think it sounds as good. I've done it when
It works better that way.
No, it does not. It sounds worse. Much
Yeah,
worse.
because it's predictive.
No. I do not agree. I think it sounds much better when it's natural.
What do you mean natural?
Like I
No,
have a
here's-
gate, I have an actual gate
Here.
on voice meter that cuts out the audio when I'm not speaking.
That's exactly what noise gate does it after.
I know, but
But here's
you
what
have
I
to-
guarantee you. Here's what's going on. When you've run it, I bet you it's not finished, because that's what I've noticed on the new version of Audacity since I got my new laptop. If you have too long of an audio file, it actually just fails and doesn't say that it failed. So it may have actually not done anything. You have to actually split it up into small chunks to run it.
That has not been my experience with it, no. Because I've listened to it after. I always listen to it after the fact. I mean, it works, but it's not. I don't prefer it. And then also, I add a little bit of bass to my voice with this voice meter. So
Well, except it doesn't work.
it always works until now, and it pisses me off. It's like it should be working. I don't understand. Hello. I'm about to just say fuck it though, so it's okay. Hi. Yep. All right. Fuck it. I do this every fucking week. Pisses me off. Hello. Hello. Do 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 do. Hello? Hello, hello.
Hi.
Shut up. Shut
You
up.
tell me to shut up.
Shut up. Oh, wait. No. Now I'm hearing it. Hello? Alright. I'm done. Let's just do it. Let's just do it this way, I guess. Let's see how many people actually answered on the website. Maybe it's more than
What?
the Instagram or Twitter because we didn't get any, or Facebook. So let's see how many people I answered on the website. I pushed a lot of it to the website this week, so maybe a lot of people, like I linked the website on every post. Maybe more people were going to the website to answer the poll. Probably not, but we'll see. Yep, like 2 people answered. Did you say you answered it, Steph? I'm not seeing
Yeah, she
it.
said she did.
Did you answer it on Instagram or on the website? I'm only seeing, unless you answered as... Oh, no, that was... Yeah, no, I don't see anything from you. Yeah, okay, she answered on Instagram. All right. Are you a Radiohead fan? Or is that, I would assume you are. Or is that maybe like a play on actual Radiohead fans? I have conflicts with a lot of Radiohead fans, but I'm sure you're probably not one of them. I got you. I've had to run-ins with a few Radiohead fans that try to argue with me they're the best band of all time, and there's this forum I'm on that's the best albums of all time, and the number 1 album of all time is what's it called? Radiohead. Kid A, or it's either Kid A or it's OK Computer. It's one of those two. I can't remember which. And it's ridiculous that is the number 1 album of all time. Let me check real quick to be sure, because I actually want to know. It's one of those two, I know. It's OK Computer. And I swear to God, if you say anything negative about that album, you get like 100,000 downvotes. If you give it like
100,000 downvotes.
If you give that album a 4 out of 5 stars, you get downvoted. You have to give it a 5 out of 5 and say it's the greatest album of all time, and it pisses me off. All right, you ready to get into this though?
Yeah, let me do one reply real quick.
The thing is, I can see arguments for other albums. I just have never ever listened to Kid, or actually OK Computer, and said, yeah, this is the greatest album of all time. Like, I've listened to The Wall by Pink Floyd and actually been like, I think this is the epitome of of rock music.
Okay. You ready?
Yeah, but before we get into that, let's get into the show. Oh boy. You ready?
Yep. 3, 2.
All right, everybody. Welcome back to another week of Coaster Talk podcast. I'm your son. Okay.
Three, 2.
Here we are again. Another week of Coaster Talk podcast. This is episode 155. It should be, keyword should there, Sunday, January 23rd, 2022. I'm James.
And I'm Bob.
Welcome back, Bob.
You
You guys were
back.
thrown for a loop there. I know you're trying to guess when the intro started playing. Who am I going to get this week? Yep, Bob is back.
Anymore, I don't know when I'm working. Oh, usually it's all the time basically, but way too much going on.
Yeah, you missed a bit last week, but some of it we're actually going to kind of recap again this week with we have our weekly poll this week pertaining to Knott's Berry Farm's Montezuma's Revenge. We have a Six Flags discussion that we actually had last week kind of being brought back to the spotlight because we kind of have a larger development out of that now. And that's actually how we'll start off this week's show. Last week I had said that they looked like they were moving away from the membership. That is true, but now we're seeing what they're going to implement in replacement of that.
So like all the enthusiasts are like big, like they were telling Six Flags, like, look, you need to do this. Here's some things you need to do. Like this is really important. Like I can't believe you haven't done this. And that was you need to raise your prices because like we're tired of like Six Flags being like daycares, which is what enthusiasts have been saying. And you need to raise your prices so that people aren't dropping their kids off to have Six Flags. And Six Flags says, okay. And now the enthusiasts are like, what the hell are you thinking, Six Flags? Why are you raising your prices? This is stupid. Why would you do this to us? So, I mean, I don't know, man.
I think there were definitely those that were like that, but I was not one of them. I've never really minded the Six Flags. I mean, I think Six Flags has produced the quality that you get from the ticket, so I've never really been too upset with them having those teenagers and kids there that aren't supervised.
It never bugged me
yeah,
either.
exactly. It didn't really bother me, but there definitely were those individuals, loud individuals that created that noise for sure. But yes, we're seeing that the year-round parks, it seems right now, are the only ones doing so, have introduced a new season pass system. So again, the membership is gone, and in with this new season pass system, which there's 3 tiers as of now: the Thrill Seeker Pass, the Extreme Pass, and the Ultimate Pass. And if you actually go, we have, for example, Six Flags Magic Mountain site, but if you go to any of the year-round park sites, they have like a tea table with with like an infographic that shows you all of the different perks you get for the specific pass. Yeah, so a lot of people are upset because they're reducing the number of like benefits you get. With the membership, you had a whole list there of like thousands of benefits almost of things you got, perks.
Yeah,
a lot of people are disappointed in the reduction of that. But I don't really care that much. I've never really been one to, especially because what happens is with the membership, in my experience, is you get so many benefits that you don't even know your benefits. It just gets too long.
Yeah.
I go on the I have a Six Flags pass from Over Georgia, and I go on my benefits membership page, and I see all the things I have at Over Georgia, and I'm like, holy crap, I would never be able to use that in a trip anywhere. Like even if I was up to America or over Georgia, any of these parks, I don't think I'd be able to use these all in a day and actually, they're like souvenir bottle, 50% off merchandise, 25% off this food and not that food, but this one over here you can get. And then there's a skip the line pass, but for these specific rides, it's like, oh, whoa, it's too convoluted. So in a way, the reduction of these perks, I think, helps simplify the park experience. So I'm not too upset, but I'm glad I get to keep the membership because I enjoy some of the perks I get from that.
So this is the thing that you have to like step back and realize, like this isn't SeaWorld, going stupid and being like, oh, you have to give us $400 and then we're going to take like half your benefits away in the middle of your membership plan. And like,
Oh, you thought you were platinum? No.
No, you can call yourself platinum if you want, but
you're platinum.
VIP
quote,
parking?
unquote.
What are you talking about? COVID killed that. Now because of COVID, you have to pay for that benefit. But really, these prices are on par with pretty much every other chain right now. I mean, they're basically falling into line with everything.
In alignment. Mm-hmm.
And this is the thing that so this is the one thing that I don't think enthusiasts are getting. There's this disparity between parks. So when you go, Cedar Fair probably has the cleanest and most effective pass system in existence because it's just simple. But here's the thing you've got to realize about Cedar Fair is it doesn't matter, your Platinum Pass, if you live in New York and Dorney Park is really your only accessible Cedar Fair park, you're still going to pay the same amount of money as those that live right between Cedar Point and Kings Island. So the value changes, and that's one of the things that I think SeaWorld pretends to understand, but then doesn't really fully understand because you have a Six Flags, it's SeaWorld San Antonio, SeaWorld in Texas is cheaper, but you come up to Virginia and it's still stupid expensive because they consider SeaWorld Sesame Place is this, incredibly large park and huge benefit to all of the thrill seekers. I mean, they do have a gravity curve.
It's a destination.
Yeah, but the thing is Cedar Fair is so clean, but it's not, you don't get the full value if you live in certain areas. Six Flags, and this is also why you have to, with Six Flags, if you buy your pass at a park, you have to process it at that park. And that is because you are buying a pass to that park because your benefits are based on you living near that park. Mm-hmm. So for people
it's
that
a locality
live,
thing. Mm-hmm.
Right. So the benefit to this is if you live in areas where you don't have access to a ton of Six Flags parks, you actually pay a lower amount. And it also falls into the whole year-round thing. If you live in the north, you don't have access to year-round parks, so
it depreciates in
value. Prices are cheaper. That's part of the accounting.
Yes, it's a strategic, specific plan they have in place.
Right. So there's all kinds of there's people that are upset saying this is so much more ridiculous because I can buy passes at Six Flags Darien Lake really cheap. Yeah, that's the whole point. And if you live in California and you want to fly out to Darien Lake to buy your pass, go for it. That's it. And Six Flags knows that's not
option.
Many people are going to do that. But even if people do that, they've already got another trip out of those people that they probably wouldn't have got anyway. That's them spending time in another Six Flags park that they probably wouldn't have visited had they just been able to process a cheaper pass at Magic Mountain. Right. Yes, exactly. And the other thing about this too is this is probably going to be, I have this feeling this is going to be their new thing going forward. So the fact that this is on all of the year-round parks now, I suspect that by the time we roll around to the seasonal parks opening,
Yes,
we're going to start seeing something similar.
I think we'll
I
see a
suspect
rollout of these as
the
well.
prices will be different, but I suspect this is going to be what they do.
Yeah, I think we'll see an implementation of something similar as well. Something that I do want to bring up that is something that I feel is depreciating the value not only of the parks themselves, but of this pass, of the membership, whatever you want to call it, in terms of what they've transitioned to and what they now have is the dining plan is very odd now. You only get 10 meals if you purchase a dining plan, as opposed to like there's no seasonal dining plan anymore, which
Yeah.
I think is a missed opportunity. A lot of people like to have that whole season long dining plan.
I I kind of been thinking about that. You look at how many different articles have been published about people like eating their entire summer. It's like
I saw that
thi-
guy that had lost weight, I think, was it? Eating at Six Flags?
I I missed that one, but like
Yeah.
there's been so many art like this is such a publicized thing that I think I think that Six Flags just can't do it anymore because people are
They're
to the point of
conscious of,
actually taking advantage of that plan.
yeah, they're
Um,
conscious of possibly being overused and actually, yeah, decreasing
and
revenue possibly.
so I have another thought about the membership thing, and a lot of people are saying, well, it like seemed to be working out for them. It seemed to be getting them more money because people were like sticking to the plans, and staying as subscribers ongoing. I kind of have this feeling that they may have actually found out that they were actually losing money because of having to employ so many customer care representatives all year round.
Mm,
Because I would imagine they were getting a lot of calls, and you even saw a
possibly.
lot of frustration just inside the enthusiast community about trying to cancel. And I kind of have this feeling that like there were a lot of people that were buying Six Flags passes and not fully or memberships and not fully understanding what was going on, and then they get confused, and then they're trying to call and they're trying to talk to people, and Six Flags is actually having to employ far more people than they expected in their call centers. Um, so I kind of have a feeling I don't know that for sure, but there's part of me that thinks you know what there's an angle there's certainly an angle there where yeah, where it seems like they might have been making a lot of money on the memberships, but then it also might have been costing them in, you know, labor of the customer service reps and just in the management of that program.
It is possible, yeah. That's definitely not a bad theory. I also want to bring up the ambiguity of one of the benefits they're listing as Six Flags rewards. So I know they do have a rewards program with the membership, but I don't think that's the same. I can't imagine it's the same that they're going to employ in this regard. So right now, that's one of their selling points for this. For all three of the passes, you get Six Flags rewards, but we're not really sure what those rewards will entail at this time. So
It
hopefully,
might actually be the same. Might actually be the same plan.
maybe, I don't know. I wouldn't think so, but it's maybe they will just do the same. Just slap on the Thrill
Yeah.
Seeker pass on the
I mean,
membership page, and
even Cedar Fair's doing it, and nobody's paying attention because it's just dumb. Like there's
oh, and
not really there.
the rewards we get are pretty awful. um, it's
Yeah.
it's like, oh, you get 25% off a cabana rental now that you've accumulated 25 points. It's like, what? Okay, I don't care. I'm not going to run a cabana, and even if I was, maybe if you gave it to me for free, I'd do it. But I'm not spending $150 just because you gave me 25% off. That's not how this works. So, yeah. Yeah, but
This
all in all, it's just a lot of reduced benefits from the membership. They're still there. Like you still have like the skip the line pass every time you visit at the ultimate pass level, but if you go to extreme, you only get 2, and it's for only weekday visits. So it's a lot of the same benefits that we saw with the membership, just reduced, and there's some discrepancies between the ultimate and extreme pass. The extreme pass and the ultimate pass have a big jump. It seems there's not like a middle. There should be something in the middle, I feel like, of that. And then there should probably be something even lower than Thrill Seeker. I feel like they're missing 2 passes. Because it is pretty... The Thrill Seeker starts off at a base price of 115, excuse me. So I think something lower would be nice for lower income maybe individuals, but because 115 seems like a high starting price for a pass, but
Yeah, I actually did just notice. It looks like there are some blackout dates on that too. So that Thrill Seeker pass does seem a little expensive.
yeah.
But I mean, on the other hand, prior to the $99 gold pass, which that is not going to stick around. I mean, it's not that far off of what a gold pass cost at Cedar Point.
Yeah, but
And you
again,
kinda have
we're
to-
talking about 2 different park chains. I think if Six Flags is committing to improving their infrastructure and making their park experience better, which they do seem to be maybe possibly heading in that direction.
I think well that was one of the other things I was going to say. So hold that thought. But I mean, this is Magic Mountain. I mean, I haven't been to Magic Mountain, but if you just look at coasters in general, like there's a large amount of coasters there.
Yes, but I don't
Um,
think it deserves to be put on the same pedestal as Cedar Point, even in regards to pricing still. I don't know. I didn't
Maybe not.
think it was the quality of Cedar Point.
But-
It was a nice park, sure, but
You're looking at a flagship. But what I'm saying is, well, even though that seems like a little bit on the pricey side, if you step up to the Extreme Pass, you're basically looking at, for the most part, you're looking at a Platinum Pass at Cedar Fair, and that's actually cheaper.
a Platinum Pass.
Because-
in regard to the Ultimate Pass.
No, the Extreme Pass is pretty much.
But the Extreme Pass isn't the same benefits.
There's actually more benefits than the Platinum
No, because
Pass.
the Extreme Pass doesn't get you into all the parks, does it?
Yes.
Ah, all right, it does. Yeah, I just now seen that.
Gets you
Sure.
into all the parks. It gives
Yeah.
you your refillable soft drink bottle, merchandise and food discounts.
Those discounts are a little bit lower than I think the Platinum Pass gets you, but yeah.
No, Platinum's 20%. So merchandise is 25%. So that's 5% more, and then food is 5% less. So I mean, it kind of averages out. I mean, it essentially is. It's a Platinum Pass with unlimited soft drinks, which is a upcharge.
Which is
at
an
Cedar Fair.
upcharge. It is. Yeah. I don't. The Extreme Pass wasn't one that I thought that was a good value, but again, I thought there was something that needed to be like in between the Thrill Pass and nothing, and then the Extreme Pass and the Ultimate Pass. But overall, I'm not too disappointed with this pass system. I just think again it's a little bit more on the pricey side. But again, as we were just bringing up, if they are committing to
Yeah.
quality
so that's
assurance, maybe
that's what I was gonna say.
But I feel like you roll that out after you begin the improvements. I don't think that's it's kind of a preliminary decision to.
Depends on how you look at it. You need money to fund it. If you can get money up front, then it costs you less to actually do it, because then you're not paying.
But I think you're losing. I think
interest
there
on-
is a customer base they're possibly losing now with this if they roll this out to all their parks.
I
Possibly.
honestly, I don't think they are. I really don't think there are many people over this. I mean, there certainly they will. I mean, there's going to be some people. I think here's the thing. I think the trade-off is you're going to lose some people. You're going to gain some people. Because I mean, honestly, and this is also like, you also have to keep in mind that whenever this rolls out at Darien Lake or Six Flags America, like these same passes might actually be cheaper.
Yeah, that's the only way. If there's a discrepancy in prices, then at local parks like America or Darien Lake or even like over Georgia, then I
But
can
honestly,
understand.
I'll be honest with you, like Yeah, I don't know. Like even if it was the same price, if the Pass was the same price at Six Flags America, I don't know that that would prohibit me from getting it. I'm not sure. I'm really not sure about that. Because I think it is a fair price. I don't think that's I don't think it's a ridiculous price at all.
Honestly, I think it
It
might be the
certainly is more
only.
than what you were used to paying
I think it
Six
might be the
Flags.
only reasonable pass on that. It might be the only one that I considered buying if if the membership falls through. Because right now they are still, as I mentioned last week, allowing members to be grandfathered into their current system and calling them legacy members. So you still get to remain a member status for the time being. I think they said that they haven't really reached a final conclusive decision on that, but for now that'll be the case.
So here's the thing though. So are you right now? Can you go still buy a membership at Six Flags America?
Yes, you can.
So here's the other thing I thought about. And I have no way of knowing anything here. But what if this is actually a tactic? Like this is another angle of if they're not losing if the membership program is actually making them a ton of money and they're not losing it on CSR reps and things like that. Could this be a tactic to scare people into getting the membership now? So
Yeah,
say you're somebody that
maybe.
lives near Six Flags America and you go, "Oh shit, what just happened at Magic Mountain? I better go." Like you weren't sure about whether you're going to get. You were thinking, "Oh, maybe I'll wait till the season starts to get my membership." Well, now you're like, "Oh crap, I actually better hurry up and grab that
Yeah, it's like a
membership
knee,
before
like
they
you have a
take it
knee jerk
away."
gut reaction, like, ooh, let me hop on that.
Yeah. So what if that's the thing that they're trying to do is they're trying to scare people into getting that membership right away.
Yeah, that could be kind of like create a panic almost, force you to like feel like your hands are tied. If I don't act
Yeah.
now, I'm not gonna be able to act at all. Maybe, and maybe again, maybe it is something like, hey, for now, let's implement this at our year-round parks, and then we'll just introduce, but like maybe they'll introduce both back to the public at some point. Like you have the dual member, like a membership, and then the pass system as well. Because I don't see there anything inherently wrong with that. I think that could be a fine system. Those that want to get a membership, get a membership. Those that want to get a pass, get a pass. I don't know why so many parks seem to be against that notion of pass systems, but
Because they want to trap you. That is literally what the plan is. You get into a subscription model and people tend not to cancel,
yeah, but
especially when it's lower.
I think a lot of
cost.
people would probably still opt for the memberships, but those that don't and are really truly against it would just go with the pass. Again, and they advertise the memberships, I think, a lot better with regards to benefits and the,
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were talking about why they are against the one-time thing and not like most parks seem to be going towards a membership because they wrap you in.
yeah. I'm
Like
saying
that's
maybe
what
they
I
introduce
mean.
both back to the and
Right.
a pass system, and that's
Well, I
what
think
that's what they
that's
already
what
done. But maybe they had.
I mean. Again, I think Cedar Fair just does it so cleanly. That you can get you can get your pass, but you can also pay monthly payments on it. It doesn't automatically renew, so you don't feel like you're obligated. You're not like trapped in it. It's just going to expire if you don't renew. Um, it's such a cleaner thing. It gives you the opportunity to buy the one-time charge or do your monthly payments, but not get trapped into that, that never-ending cycle.
Yeah.
I don't know. It certainly seems like Six Flags is doing something. But that's one of the things, though. I mean, you know, enthusiasts have been complaining for quite a while. Like, they need to stop doing this. One stupid ride per park every year. That's not really bringing any real value, and actually start building some quality rides. But I mean, we see Doctor Diabolical is getting built. We see the possibility that Six Flags is actually looking
Turning
looking
a new leaf.
at doing more. more higher end rides. We might
Mhm.
start seeing some Intamins, B&Ms, and some of
Some
the
better capital investments for sure.
yeah.
Um, yeah, I don't know. That's yet to be
We've also
seen. I
seen some
think
TLC
in
stuff
full
too.
fruition, but we have. But I don't think it's to the extent where I'm justifying paying $329 for a pass yet. But
No, I mean I think that's a bit much, but I mean at least there's enough there to see that. I don't know. It seems like there's
and
intent,
again, we've
and
seen
there's
structural changes with regards to the corporate structure of the parks. And I know there was just an article released about um, pushing the guest experience more than just the investment and guests getting into the park, the capacity of the parks, all that. They're trying to say maybe if we focus more on the guest experience,
yeah.
our park, our park guests will spend more money, they'll be happier, and they'll return more often. So there is this possible just morale change at the parks and at that corporate level, as we know with the
I,
introduction of the new CEO and kind of the change in the level, the hierarchy of the company. Maybe we'll see that happen. And I know the park presidents have more oversight now, so maybe we'll see some better touch ups because corporate wasn't focused on. Hey, let's there's a bathroom over here. Let's improve that. It's kind of gross. Let's get that. Like that's something that the park president walks around and sees possibly, and he might be able to voice that over to the CEO more easily than having to go through the vice president and then the
right.
other C levels and so on and so forth until it finally gets escalated to the CEO. So
Yeah, I think there could be some good things
I know
here.
we were a bit nervous about the Six Flags changes, but it seems like it could be potentially yielding something great for the company. So we'll see. That is yet to be seen, but we shall see for sure. Bob, I know
Yeah,
I know you're not a fan of the new Alpengeist paint job at Busch Gardens Williamsburg.
no,
What do you feel
not at
about
all.
the fact that Battle for Ire looks like it's in the grave?
Yeah, I could care less.
Yeah, that's kind of. I think
If
that's
I'm
most
gonna be
people's sentiment.
honest. Yeah, so it is sounding. I mean, it's been sounding like it for a while, but there's a BGW fans, our friends over there, released a new article with some photos and some updates of what's going on at Busch Gardens Williamsburg. And one of the things they were noting was it seems like there might be this really could be the end of Battle for Ire.
Yeah.
Um, so here's something I didn't know that was addressed in the article is that the Battle for Ire location didn't have any facilities for actually sanitizing the the
The
headsets.
headset, yeah, the gear.
And so what they were doing is they actually took carts back and forth to Dark Castle where the washing
Yeah,
station was
where
for
they
the
had.
glasses that were actually part of Dark Castle.
Yep,
And even though Dark Castle hadn't operated, that's still where the
where that
sanitizing plant
process
was.
was being held. Yeah,
Yeah. So kind of the speculation is, well, now what? Dark Castle's building is going to be under construction.
reutilized, yeah,
So so
repurposed.
what's happening with that sanitizing station? Um, would they relocate it? I mean, I kind of think that if they didn't relocate it before, it's got to be pretty intense to relocate.
Hmm.
um, because you face like Dark Castle hasn't needed it for how long? How many years?
Yeah.
It's been a while. Since before Battle of Ire was even a thing.
Hmm.
Um, so you would have thought if it was trivial to move, they would have done that before. Um, plus, we don't know what Dark Castle is going to actually have. Like, is there going to be like augmented reality or something with the special effects? So since we don't know, it's
Yeah,
hard for us to speculate.
and
Um,
to be honest, just speaking from a ride perspective, even if there are the logistics behind the cleaning and that process, it didn't appeal to people. I mean, Battle for Ire really didn't click. I didn't
yeah,
mind it. I liked it, but a lot of people expressed just kind of melancholy, like, it's all right. It's whatever. It exists.
It honestly is the only motion simulated ride that ever made me not feel 100%. Like I wouldn't say it made me sick, but it just never. I don't know. When I got off of it, I just didn't feel right, and I don't know what the reason was. I did talk about Zach. Maybe it was actually on our episode that we had with him.
I think it
I'm
might
not
have been
really sure.
the one prior to the Dark Castle.
Could
Yeah.
be. I'm not completely sure, but you know, he had said that there was actually, like, when they were filming that, they actually filmed it with a very specific pinpoint location.
Yes.
So anybody that was off-centered actually wasn't actually specifically in tune with the graphics. So one thing that BGW fans suggested in the article is maybe they'll actually run it without any kind of headsets, which they would have to.
They'd have to improve the graphics and reduce the
Yeah.
3D effect. Mm-hmm.
But you would have to think that they would have that raw footage to just replace. That might not be a hard thing to do.
Yeah, and I mean, that's not too outlandish to think because that's exactly how Europe in the Air ran. And
Yeah.
Corkscrew Hill, so...
But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't know of anybody that really is like, oh, I love Battle for
Yeah.
Air.
I mean,
Like,
I didn't mind it, but I
Nobody
definitely...
hates it, but nobody's really like.
They're indifferent.
Oh,
It
it's
exists,
great.
right?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
the
it's just
general...
there. It's like, yeah. So yeah,
But
I
also
don't
included
know.
in this article to kind of tie back to something we've talked about, and we had a whole episode with Zach. Dark Coaster preparation seems to have begun. They have a few, actually, fences in place at the very beginning of the ride where you have that entranceway where the wolves used to sit. So this is exciting to see the project that we have so long awaited finally begin possibly construction. I mean, obviously starting construction, but we don't really know the actual ride itself in the indoor section has begun anything. But yeah, we'll keep our eyes on that with BGW fans, of course, as our leading correspondent.
Yes, definitely.
Well, let's stick with SeaWorld because and let's stick with new rides actually because they just released 3 attractions opening dates, and of course, we all know which 3 attractions. Well, should be 4 on that list, but it's 3 because Williamsburg is being Williamsburg, and Tampa, SeaWorld Orlando, and SeaWorld San Diego have all released the opening dates for their new for 2022 attractions. And no, this isn't an April Fool's joke. This is for
Allegedly.
real. This is not a joke. This is
I-
from the parks.
I distinctly remember being in this exact position a couple years ago.
Yeah, I do too. Remember the
No,
day
this
of?
is real. We have this is real. It's happening.
Remember the day of? I
Yes,
was
I
sitting in
actually do.
school
Oh my god.
and I had messaged Bob and I'm like, all right, well they're closing the parks on that Monday, so we still get to go this weekend and ride Pantheon, right? And they were like, in the last minute, right before I left school that day, they were
Yeah,
like,
and even Busch Gardens Williamsburg actually like tweeted something out that like misled everybody
Yeah.
too.
they had said we're closing Monday, and we're like, oh great,
Yep.
awesome, we're good to go this weekend because it was the Platinum Pass holder preview, or just maybe it's just the pass holder preview, but we had exclusive access to Pantheon that weekend, and we're like, yes, and then they were like, oh never mind, sorry, corporate just told us that's wrong.
Yep.
Yeah.
I paid 2 years worth of membership fees to get
not
nothing.
Pantheon. Yeah. All right, but Iron Gwazi will open March 11th, and then Emperor will open, I believe, March 12th, so the day after, and then Icebreaker will open February 18th. Those are the official opening days. Now, if you have a pass or a membership, you will get access early. So I believe Iron Gwazi's begins in February, actually. So about a month prior to the actual official opening date, you'll get exclusive access to the ride. I believe it starts off as Platinum, then it jumps down to Platinum and Premier, then it jumps down to just all members get access to, like the basic member. I don't remember what the basic membership's called, but you get access to the ride that way. And that'll all be, again, subsequently. It'll be like, I think it's like the first weekend or the second weekend of February, Platinum only. And then this applies to all the coasters opening as well. Then the second weekend after that will be Platinum and Premier, and then it'll be all pass holders in season and memberships. So, yeah, get ready. I mean, here less than a month, people will be getting on Iron Gwazi. That's allegedly again.
Allegedly, that's the anticipation.
Supposedly. Anyway. Let's not get
I
disappointment too built up.
I
But,
did hear that Todd Joseph was buying a park.
Did you?
Yeah, somewhere down in Tampa. We're gonna do some controlled burning.
I think so. I think Iron Gwazi's structure might not be as salvageable this time.
That's what I was curious. Did they do any of the off-season retracking and like track maintenance and stuff? That I mean, this coaster's 3 freaking years old. It's 3 years old.
Yeah, we got to get some structure replacement on this bad boy. Yeah, but I don't think once Todd Joseph gets his hands on it, I don't think it'll be as salvageable as it was this time. Because I remember that whole fiasco. Oh, can't be salvaged because it's, the wood's all deteriorated. Yeah. We've never seen RMC come in and replace massive amounts of structure before. They can't do that.
Who would build a wood structure in Florida?
I don't know. The temperate conditions just won't suit it.
Said all the concrete houses, because all the houses are wood.
Oh.
Do you remember that? Like that was all like, oh.
Yeah,
I always thought that was the funniest argument. They're not going to do anything with Gwazi because the wood can't stand tropical climate.
And I'm like, no, I mean, Florida conditions pretty...
Trees can't grow in Florida.
It's pretty agreeable. I mean, the temperate climate is pretty suitable for wood. It doesn't rain that much. It doesn't... I mean, I guess you could argue that...
Well, it rains a lot, but...
Yes, but wooden coasters are actually pretty... rain does not affect wooden coasters as much as people think.
I mean, it affects them, but it's not something that's not dealt with. Like, I mean, that's what engineers do.
It's a reasonable...
They figure all that shit
It's
out.
a reasonable climate to be in, and that's seen by the... I mean, there's other wooden coasters in Florida now. Like, this isn't even fully wood anymore. I just, yeah.
I mean, how many docks are there in Florida? Like,
docks, you said houses. I mean, holy crap.
I mean,
I guess everyone in Florida avoids wood.
Before you start emailing me, I know they're siding on houses. Okay, but let's go to the docks. Like, I mean, I always just...
We'll go, hey, well, Bob, they replaced the wood on the docks. Yeah. Good. Use that logic. Keep using that logic. And
what do they do?
What does that lead you to? This is pretty explicit. I think understood. Yeah, keep going. I like your reasoning. All right. Well, let's talk about. I guess we could bring up the other ones because we talked about Gwazi a little bit. So Emperor obviously opening up as well. That looks exciting. Honestly, in person, Emperor was impressive. Not really because it's a dive coaster or anything, but the color scheme I think is beautiful. It's like that light blue with a little bit of like an aqua blue support. I thought it looked really, really vivid and memorable when I was there. It was one of my... I was very disappointed actually not riding it. I didn't get to ride Hang Time. I didn't get to ride Tatsu. And I was actually as equally disappointed with not being able to ride Emperor just because I thought it looked so beautiful. I would have liked to have been up close and personal with it. It's a different reason for like Icebreaker. Icebreaker I think doesn't look that good in terms of color scheme, but it looks like an impressive ride, and I would like to ride it.
I love everything about Icebreaker.
I don't like the color scheme that much.
I love the color scheme. I love the color scheme, Max.
See, what is that? How does that scream ice to anybody? I don't understand. It's not Arctic feel whatsoever.
Okay, it doesn't do that, but I like it anyway.
Yeah, like that's my thing is I like Emperor's like it's a penguin, it's cold, it's crisp, it feels right. But with Emperor with Icebreaker, I'm like I don't see any really winter-esque
I mean, I honestly
orange.
like. There's gonna be all kinds of people like that calling me an idiot or whatever, but I seriously, out of these three, Icebreaker's the one.
You're an idiot.
If I could only ride one of those three, I would actually pick Icebreaker over top of Iron Gwazi. I
All
honestly
right,
would.
well, you actually are an idiot for that, but I was
Okay,
kidding when you
fine.
first said it, but
But I'm like the thing is though, like I'm not saying that Iron Gwazi's gonna be a terrible ride or anything. I don't know. I think Icebreaker's gonna be a sleeper, and um I don't know. I think people are. I don't know. I feel like Iron Gwazi's not going to be what people expect. I think it's going to be really great, but I think people are going to judge it on terms that it's not trying to accomplish.
I don't know. It's a
It
world
looks
record
very. It looks
breaker.
different.
It's
It
the only
is,
thing
but it.
I'm disappointed with and this is with Pantheon as well, is the lack of airtime moments. That's
Well, and
something that
that's
I
the
think.
thing. That's what I think. That's why I think Iron Gwazi's not. I think people. I think a lot of people are going to be disappointed with Iron Gwazi because they're thinking RMC, and I think Iron Gwazi is an RMC that accomplishes something different than RMCs have accomplished before. So I think people are not going to get what they expect. But there's also that fact of, oh my God, we can't offend an RMC coaster, so they're going to love it even if they hate it. God forbid anybody admit that they hated Iron Gwazi, just like Still Vengeance or but
It's
I really
sacrilegious,
do.
Bob.
I know it is. It is like a cult. It really is.
I agree
I
to an
just
extent that there's a fandom that exceeds RMC's actual true qualities, but I think they're still great rides, and I think Iron Gwazi is going to be great.
I'm not saying they're not great
Yeah,
rides. I love them, but I feel like I feel like that's what's going to happen with Iron Gwazi is like you said about the whole
yeah,
airtime thing.
that is definitely a
I don't think that's
critique I
what Iron
have.
Gwazi's out to accomplish. It's going to do something different, and people are going to be like, "Whoa, what happened to the airtime, Alvin? What went wrong?" Like,
And that's the same thing with Pantheon, though. For me, is that I don't think Pantheon has enough either. It's like you're going to have that really great outer bank, and then that's kind
uh,
of the lack of
I
airtime
don't know
after that.
though. I I think Pantheon has little tiny points in the track where it might actually be surprise airtime.
I don't think so. I don't know.
I'm
It's
not
not long
sure.
enough to. It doesn't have enough. So you go up the top. The top hat probably will have airtime. The outer bank probably will. And then there's like one little bunny hop before you get into the brakes. And other than that, I don't think you're gonna get much airtime. So there's maybe 3 solid
But
airtime moments.
again, though, that's not what Pantheon's out to accomplish.
No, I don't. But that's when I'm looking at a roller coaster. That's probably the biggest factor I want in a ride is airtime. I love airtime. I don't really care about inversions. Launches are
Oh,
fine.
I don't like it. Whatever.
Exactly, they
Um,
just are, and I mean they can be
but
fun. There
but
are,
just
and there's
pure
an exception to that
speed.
rule because with Velocicoaster, the Mosasaurus roll is, mwah, chef kiss. I mean, it is perfect. Somehow they confined that track to like the perfect parameters, and it's taken at such
I
great
honestly,
speed, and it is amazing.
that's
But
what I always thought about Volcano's Heartline rolls. Those were like the perfect inversions for me. I
yeah,
loved those so much
those
because
those
they
were
were like
great. Those were great
so
too.
perfectly engineered.
Exactly. And that's what Velocicoaster was like. So maybe Intamin is going to reintroduce that with Pantheon. You have the 0G roll and you have that the stall. So maybe we see something of that sort. But other than that, I think this ride is suffering from length issue as well as what we see with Iron Gwazi. I think there's not. I mean, Iron Gwazi is longer, but it's not doing as much with that length that I would like to see in my personal taste. I would like to see some more airtime moments, and there's a lot of like drawn out helices and a lot of inversions, but there's not a lot of those
You know what's funny is
classic airtime.
the more I think about this, the more I could see myself riding Iron Gwazi and absolutely loving it while the entire rest of the world hates it. I just like I don't know. I might
You just had an epiphany.
Yeah, the more I think about it, yeah, I don't know. I still do think Icebreaker's kind of asleep though. I don't know. There's just some things about that. It's like it doesn't jump out at you, but I feel like there's some things that are just like I don't know. I'm excited for that one.
I'm excited for Icebreaker too, and don't get me wrong. I mean, seeing it in person, it does look fun. I'm not the comfort collars. That's a huge negate for me, but I think the ride looks fine. I think again in person, it actually is impressive. I've been over there, and actually for a while we were there under false pretenses, thinking it would open because there was dumbasses on Reddit and Twitter like normal, like oh. It's opening. They're just going to open the ride randomly, like when we were there.
There's dumbasses on the internet?
Yeah, it was me and Timmy. I mean, we weren't there because of that, but we were at the park and we're like, oh, let's go check it out and see if it's open. Nothing going on over there.
I do remember when all of you guys dropping everything to go to Busch Gardens because of a similar rumor.
Well, I wasn't because I was working.
No, that's right. You were. Yeah, I was in Pennsylvania then. Like
that was Airtime Mike, man. Where is Airtime Mike at? Let's grill him.
Yeah,
real
where
quick.
is he tonight? He's not in our live chat.
Yeah, Mike.
Where are you, Mike?
We got to grill you tonight. Of course, the one night we can give him some shit, he's not going to be here. But yeah, I do recall that as well. But that was a similar scenario unfolding here, except we didn't fly to Florida or drive over to SeaWorld when we were at we were at SeaWorld when there was a rumor of Icebreaker might open, and we were like, hey, cool, and then nothing. I'm like, ah. But yeah, like that anticipation up to it, I was looking for oh, maybe I'll get an Icebreaker. That's pretty great. Like I was excited to ride it. I think it's going to be a fun ride. I don't think it's going to be the ride out of the SeaWorld parks this year, but it definitely looks like a good addition to the SeaWorld parks because the SeaWorld parks, the SeaWorld Orlando park, doesn't really have a family ride. You have Manta, which you could argue, Manta is kind of, for the most part, other than that pretzel loop. But for the most part, other than that, it's pretty lackluster. Yeah, you're flying around, you're having fun. It's not crazy. But again, that pretzel loop is really where if you get a kid on that ride, they're going to cry their eyes out. that is insane. It's insanely intense. It is fantastic. I like Manta a lot. But I think other than that element, you could argue, Manta's kind of a family-esque, a family adaptable. You could make it, make a case for it being something that a family can enjoy. And then Mako obviously not, and Kraken obviously not.
Height limit.
You said what?
Except it's a 54-inch height requirement.
Yes, I mean if you want to argue, like you might not be able to get 6-year-olds on it, but you can get your younger teens on it that might not like coasters yet.
Actually, Piper did ride Superman at Great Adventure, and she loved it.
Okay, well there you go.
I actually remember, like, my sisters were like, "What was that?" And they were talking about the pretzel.
Yeah, the pretzel loop is crazy.
What was that?
It is.
It's crazy.
It completely compresses your skull. It's like it is such an awkward but fantastic feeling. Like when you're in it, it's like, oh no, and then when you're out of it, you're like, that was awesome. I want to do that again. It really is. But yeah, Icebreaker fills that
really
gap.
Summed it up well.
It really is. That's exactly how my reaction goes every time. I'm like, no, and then I'm like, yes, let's do it again. But yeah, Icebreaker fills a nice gap for that park, and then Emperor as well. Emperor is definitely going to be the flagship ride for that park because Manta at SeaWorld San Diego is and then they have their Skyrocket 2, which I can't think of the name of right now off the top of my head, but that was obviously So it's SeaWorld San Diego was in desperate need of a new attraction, so it's good to see that these will be opening up this year and providing the gaps that they fill, or filling the gaps that they. What? All right, I'm just gonna pretend like I said that coherently. Moving on to Cedar Point, Wicked Twister, something new going on possibly at the park. In the spot.
By the way, if you somehow have not seen the destruction videos of the tower of Wicked Twister,
not the videos themselves, but the captions that are being provided alongside them.
There's some gold being produced.
I retweeted a
It's
few,
hilarious.
so go to
It's-
my
it's-
Twitter if you need to find them.
It's pretty great. I did particularly like the news interview. The person responsible for the demolition, he was like, "Yeah, I love this coaster. It did 0 to
Yeah.
60 in 2
Yeah.
seconds." Like, yeah, okay, fine, whatever. you'll never be proven wrong.
Exactly.
So
We can't say you're wrong anymore. It doesn't exactly do anything anymore.
it doesn't go fast anymore.
It doesn't do anything. It doesn't go anywhere except collapsing. It collapses.
Yeah.
Uh,
But James, they're not moving it. They're not relocating it.
no, it doesn't seem like it.
Everybody was so sure.
I know, Bob. I don't know the way
just
they
plug it in.
the way they carefully handled the destruction, as you can see in the videos again we retweeted. Maybe there's some space. Maybe they might. No,
I always
they
found
completely
that like
toppled that
that
tower
is the one
over.
coaster. I mean, I understand the whole angle of like it's such a small coaster, like it'd be so easy to relocate, but it would be. In the terms of relocating a coaster, that would be one of the easiest ones to relocate. Plugging it in is a different story, because that doesn't just plug in anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Requires quite a bit of power.
Yeah, and that is something that, as we've expressed previously, not all the Cedar Fair parks have access to. Other than we had
Very few
hypothesized
parks
maybe
in general
Kingston
have
did.
access to.
But the reason we're bringing this up again, not because we want to shit on Cedar Point. Well, in part we do, but
I mean, we do.
we're always happy to jump on that. But
No,
Tony
what we
Clark
really wanna do is
actually-
shit on Tony Clark.
yeah, Tony Clark in particular expressed his expressed the park's future possible plan, saying that something for everyone could be coming in the place of Wicked Twister's spot.
In other words, you're gonna get a restaurant and you're gonna like it,
Or a restroom.
or a restaurant.
That is something for everyone. You cannot argue around that.
That's actually very true.
As long as they call it the Wicked restroom or something, we'll be good. But yeah, there's something.
It's gonna
new.
be. The restroom's gonna have to be built by B&M though.
Yeah.
B&M Plaza.
B&M
That's
Plaza.
why that's the real. Don't let anybody fool you. That's why Wicked Twister's gone, because that Intamin got mixed up in that B&M Plaza, and
Yeah.
like, it just had to go.
Just didn't fit. They were like,
can't have an Intamin.
we have to
in
segregate our
amongst
skyline. We have to have the
B&Ms.
Intamins back here, and we have to have the B&Ms up here. It can't work other ways. In all actuality, though, I'm thinking we might see some sort of beachside activities, maybe
Yeah.
a restaurant, maybe like a bar. That would be kind of cool to have like a tropical bar set up in that area. I don't know. I'm kind of
I
thinking
think
outside
there's
the box.
I think there's a
outside the box.
possibility of that. I don't think it's going to be anything big, because I think they want to keep the beach view open there.
Yes, it wants to
Let's
be.
face it, that's what Cedar Point's becoming. It's going to be a lot more about the beach than the thrill rides. That's where the
Which
focus
my
is gonna
mom-
go now.
She's okay with that. She'll be like, oh, let's go Cedar Point more often.
Well, and that's the thing is if Cedar Point would fix that big hole of like 36-inch to 48-inch coasters, like
Sure.
if they would actually fill that hole, Cedar Point would be an absolute phenomenal family destination because of the beach and like all of the things. That would actually be a resort destination. You could actually go there on a vacation and just spend time at the beach, spend time at the amusement park. You know, like there,
Yeah.
it would be perfect. But it is really hard on, you know, the amusement park side to call it a family
Yeah, because you're restricted
attraction
to
because
the
of like that.
yeah, you're restricted to that height requirement.
Yeah, there's
Mm-hmm.
just nothing to do for that age group, which is a big part. I mean, when you're going to a theme park, like that age is like
You're missing out on a huge
we
demographic.
want-
Yeah.
yeah. It's I mean, it's a big part of the family. I mean, you know, infants don't do anything; they just go wherever. You know, they're not going to get on rides like that. But that age of like, you know, 4 to 7-year-old, like that's where they're really getting, you know, into doing stuff, and like that's such a vital part. And that's
That is the
mean,
exposure to thrill ride age.
That's
range,
what
yeah.
you do when you go on a family vacation. That age is focus at. Like I'm telling you, when I go on family vacation, my focus has always been on. Well, I mean, it was my niece in that age range, and then my nephew in that age. Getting too old now,
Yeah.
but like just seeing things through their eyes made things so much better. Like it's such a huge important part, and Cedar Point is missing out on that.
Yep. So maybe very. I don't think there's any. There's a slim chance that this is a roller coaster. Probably in the the negative
I,
percentage. But if
I
this
mean,
is
it
a
would.
coaster, hopefully they actually are starting to grasp that and grip that and say, hey, we should maybe do something. And
I
you think
do.
this is an area that is adjacent to that Kitty Kingdom section. I think that's what they call it. What is it? Kingdom of Kids or
Yeah,
whatever. Kid Kingdom.
Kitty King. I think it's.
Kingdom of
Yeah, I
Kids.
think it's Kitty King.
Kitty Kingdom. All
I
right,
think that's
that's
got
right
the
there.
right.
So that's kind of the almost perfect place to have an attraction of that type. It's like, hey, let's now that we're in Kitty Kingdom, and you're kind of getting a little too old for this. Let's head on over. Look, there's the family ride. Let's get on the family
I do think
ride.
that would be a really really good place for a gravity group, a little
Yeah,
gravity group Woody.
and you could easily theme it to the beach side. I mean, there's a lot of those boardwalk
Something like
coasters.
Oscar's Wacky Taxi or Wooden Warrior. Please not like Kentucky Flyer.
Yeah, don't mess it up. Don't mess it up. I still can't grasp
like
that. Like at an engineering level, it seems like it's the same application.
it does. I don't know what happened.
I don't
It's so
understand.
weird.
I don't know if it's the temperature, the maintenance, what. I don't know what it is.
Oh look, great minds think alike. Steph actually said Oscar's Wacky Taxi is what they need, and I just happened to look at the live chat and she said exactly what I was saying at the
Yeah.
same time. I mean that is something they do really need, and it would be kind of cool to have that like beachfront wooden roller coaster. I think that would look really cool. It's like an
And they could
out
maybe even
back.
throw back to like call it Switchback Railway or something. They could make it
Yeah.
a nod to. I mean, they're very prevalent about their appreciate. Well, they keep saying it. I mean, obviously they're pushing it because it's a marketing tool, but the 150th anniversary, our history. Look how old we are. We're one of the oldest continually operating amusement parks in existence. Like they're pushing that, so they could theme it to something of, hey, our history, Switchback Railway. We had this ride at one point, and almost exact spot too. Like I think that's around where it was at in that area. So
Yeah. Well, speaking of oldest operating amusement parks, when we come back from the break, we're going to actually talk about the oldest amusement park in the United States,
yes,
Lake Compounce, and some things that might be going on up there.
indeed. We'll be right back after this.
I saw that opportunity and had to take it.
Okay, I didn't. I was like, "Fuck, Bob." No, remember we moved it. I thought you were to be like, speaking of it, let's go to Lake Compounds. I'm like, no, don't doom our second half to nothing. Don't.
What is it? This is 155.
Yeah, 155. What are the drunk riders at?
Hmm?
I should see what the drunk riders are at.
They recorded tonight. I thought I
They
saw they
record
were
on
recording
Wednesday.
yesterday.
Yeah. Oh, we're catching up.
Oh, what number they were at? I see what you're saying.
They're at 163. That
Oh,
means
they
we're-
did say it was their biggest expansion? I remember them saying that.
Who said that? Cedar Point?
Guessing.
I don't recall any mention of that. I feel like I definitely would have seen someone say something about that.
I mean, who really knows what Tony's saying?
He's probably like, it's our biggest expansion yet. Out of a a beachfront resort attraction side next to the gatekeeper that's also next to the tilt-a-whirl. It's like
It's our biggest expansion in this corner of the park since disaster transport.
since 1934 and this or whatever. Yeah.
Cedar Point in records, man. It's kind of ridiculous.
They always have to qualify it. That's our biggest expansion. It's our world-breaking class roller coaster. Other than the fact that it doesn't break any records in the world.
I feel. Now that you mention it, I do faintly remember Cedar Point saying something like that, but I don't know if it was related to.
To this.
Yeah.
All night long, all night. All night long, all night.
What if they actually are building a boardwalk?
I agree. That's what I want them to do so
I
bad.
know. I don't think they will, but
Literally, look what
cool.
I'm just looking at right now. This is what I'm looking at.
the map.
And look at the conceptual art that's been drawn there.
Where's that from?
I think it's somewhere. I'd saved it. It's from Reddit, I think. I have it like bookmarked. That's exactly what I said. Like build like a little bit of a pier out onto the waterway, and have like a Gerslauer or a GCI or a Gravity Group.
They need a Gravity Group because they need a low height requirement.
You can make with this, you could make that little steel coaster possibly the family coaster in my mind, and then erect a larger wooden roller coaster, like a Gravity Group.
Well, you could do. PTC trains can do 42-inch.
Are we waiting for Steph to find this?
No, I don't know.
I was wondering because I wouldn't mind. But.
Oh yeah, well yeah, I'm kind of curious, but
Steph, are you actually like actively seeking it out, or should we just continue? 'Cause if you are, then we'll wait. If not, then obviously we won't. All night long. Let's see if my
it's a good thing. Good thing to know that this future rendering shows top throw tracks are there, so at least we know it's not getting torn down.
The map that I showed you?
Yeah. You don't build a GCI family coaster. You build a Gravity Group. Come on, Pam.
Let's just get an Invader clone.
Oh God, no. Even that's 46 inches. That's not. I don't think GCI makes anything like 6 inches. I don't think their trains can do it. I mean, I guess if they put a PTC on it, maybe. I do think it's interesting though that
I'm assuming.
Remember what I was saying
Steph
about
is going to look for it because she hasn't responded.
Yeah, it's interesting. Remember what I was saying about GCI and how I wasn't sure like what was everybody left.
Yeah.
But now I see what's going on. Skyline is designing all their coasters for them, so that's what happened. So should still be okay. As long as Skyline keeps designing them.
Keeps churning out those rides.
That Vietnamese one looks really cool.
Oh yeah, I agree. I love how it hugs the train.
Yeah.
If we're waiting on Steph, I'm gonna be right back. Because I gotta get some more water.
All right. anybody in the live chat that's curious, this was the map we were talking about. This is purely conceptual and official and actually not even from Cedar Point at all. But it would be really cool. So they also, Cedar Point also has been known to like just actually add to their land. They just like build more land onto the peninsula. Okay, Steph. I faintly remember like the more you talked about it, I do remember them saying something like that, but I don't feel like it was related to that. But I don't know. Trying to remember what it was actually related to. Now it's now it's gonna bug me too. I think it was related to like when they did the frontier thing and like Sawmill Creek and like all of that stuff. They did all of that at the same time, and I think that's what they were talking about. Because I also feel like I remember them saying like, "Oh, it's our biggest event, biggest expansion," and I remember saying, "Yeah, it's like biggest expansion, and there's not a single ride to be found in it." I mean, I guess there was the boat ride, but like I remember saying that. So he's back. Oh, damn it! I hate you. I want popcorn now.
I may or may not have made some popcorn.
I hate you. Now I want popcorn.
I was so hungry. I'm like, I'm just gonna make some popcorn.
I bought this really cool thing. It's like this like microwave like bowl thing that you just put like unpopped kernels
Yeah.
in and it pops in a microwave. It's like the coolest thing in the world because you could just put oil and butter and like salt and all the stuff in there and shake it up. But it sucks like hell when you don't have a dishwasher because it's impossible to clean that
Clean it
freaking
out.
thing. So like I never use it because I never want to have to wash it.
I just bought an air popper.
I think that's what I'm gonna have to get.
I love
But the
that.
thing
I
is,
love
it's
it.
like anything that I get, like I don't like using like microwave popcorn like that because of the plastic in the bags. Like it's not ideal. But like it's like the only thing that's kind of practical when you don't have a dishwasher because
Oh, sorry, I was reading what Stephanie said.
oh, you know somebody that works there? Uh-oh. From where? For where? I mean, that's got to be B&M, right?
Mm-hmm.
Does nobody else use the Claremont?
I believe it's just B&M, yeah.
I know B&M uses them exclusively, but I didn't know if anybody else used them. I don't know. Now, if you said that about like an Intamin shop, you'd have me so excited.
Or RMC, because RMC is Bob's favorite manufacturer. Oh, this is so good.
I hate you. Well, I wonder if there's that. I mean, it could be that surf coaster thing.
That would fit. That would be nice.
I really know. I just want to know what that thing is.
Not even BGW fans can find that out.
Oh, something for Cedar Point. They don't need another freaking B&M. Freaking crap! The last thing that Cedar Point needs is another B. Seriously.
They need 2 more, damn it.
Oh my god. B&M's gonna build a version of Wicked Twister.
With chain lift, though, because they can't use the power.
Yeah, that could be it. Although that would mean that they've already signed off on one of those designs.
I love how unprofessional I am just eating popcorn.
I know. I hate you.
I'm talking about, like, if I watch another podcast go live, for the most part, they're typically, like, pretty, like, serious and
Yep. You're like,
structured. And I'm
screw
like,
it. Yeah, something
I'm chowing down, boy.
Ugh. The only B&M type ride that Cedar Point could get, it would be like a flying coaster, but
Pam still here?
I don't think Tony Clark wants that to happen. It's going to be the largest restroom to date for any amusement park in the United States.
And I think Wicked Restroom would be an awesome name. Wicked shitter, you could say. Dude, I wish I'd said that on the show. That was good. Almost as good as this popcorn. Pam's still here. We did now. Hi, Pam. Want some?
I do.
Ugh. Alright, I can save the rest for later.
Have you built any of these parkscapes?
No, I have not. Can't imagine they're difficult though. Have you?
No. Kind of curious.
I consider buying the Cedar Point one, but then I'm like, I don't know. Have you ever built a cutout?
What?
Have you built a cutout?
No. No, I haven't.
Have you bought any?
Well, I've ordered them.
How many? Which ones did you? You ordered some like recently?
Blue Streak.
No, that's it.
And I did just get this.
You got it?
No.
No. Does this have to put on your wall finally?
No. Anybody know what it is?
Is that? Yeah, I know what it is. You want me to tell?
No. Anybody in the chat know what this is? See if anybody gets it first.
I saw it as soon as you held it up. Hammer stuff, you guys.
I'll show you the base too.
Kind of looks like what it's named after a little bit. Guys, stop! We're getting too many responses. We can't keep
I
up.
know, can't keep up. Come on, anybody know? Somebody's got to take
Yes or
take
no?
a stab at it. Just take a guess. They're probably all lagged.
They all left. They're like this.
Or that. Oh man, it's like got a. It's like bent.
Here we go.
Man.
Pam does not know. And Steph does not care.
Does help at all?
It's pretty. He's talked about it 1,000 times on the show.
I
It's
know.
pretty. It's pretty recognizable. It's a volcano. She said, "Show it again." You gotta do the. You gotta do the hand wave over. There you go. Now she's gonna get it. When there's trouble, you know who to call.
I have I have faith in you, Steph.
Slowly but surely, she's getting it. Yeah,
No.
I mean,
Maybe I don't have faith in you.
maybe that was a joke. It's blue and red. That wasn't, I guess, a terrible guess. Ja na 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 na. All right, it's Batman and Ride the Chain.
Yep. James got it.
I knew it like 20 minutes ago. Not to brag. I'm just kidding.
So it was funny. I ordered the Blue Streak cutouts, and then I remembered that. So I actually placed a separate order for that after, like 5 minutes after, and I got that, and the cutouts haven't even shipped.
See, I don't think people
So,
realize
like-
when they're listening to the podcast that we're actually taking a break. When we say we're taking a break, I think they think we just like go right back.
You're probably right.
we're in here like eating popcorn and having a whole other conversations. Like this really is a mental break from the show. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but I really just thought about that. I was like,
Wait, what's she saying? Don't what?
don't get me started. Don't stand so close to me.
Don't stand so. Don't. It is a Six Flags one. I'm thinking that she didn't hear you say it. Don't have faith. It's number 424.
Ow. That hurt, Bob. Why would you do me?
What?
Nah, you're not missing much.
What? Oh, the park. I don't know. I like the park. I love that ride. Chiller is amazing.
Well, seeing as we're talking about modern visit, you're not missing much.
Okay. But
Free spins are fun.
they are fun. But this was a this was a completely different thing. Most people that rode the chiller loved the chiller.
Have you ridden a free spin, Steph?
Now I'm gonna watch videos of Batman and Robin.
Yeah, so what do you... She said she
Oh, you
hasn't-
never rode one?
She's hating on him.
No, what the heck?
Yeah, exactly. Can't judge. Alright.
Oh, I love the zipper.
I don't.
Man, have you watched videos of this? Like this red just tore through everything.
I have seen
It
videos.
moved.
I wrote it. I'm just kidding.
It didn't.
I wanted to see your reaction. This whole time. What if I had
Didn't it?
written
Well,
it
actually, wasn't it torn down like the year you were born or something?
No.
No, actually, it lasted longer than
It was
that.
way longer than that. I'm pretty sure that closed in the late 2000s. Don't stand so. Don't stand so. Don't stand so close to me. Yep, 2007. So I was 4.
It didn't even last 10 years. Kind of crazy to think about.
It did. It opened in 1997 and it closed in 2007.
Be so cool if Top Thrill Dragster did the inverted top hat.
It lasted 10 years. Are you going to dodge that?
What?
It did last 10 years. It opened in
What?
97 and closed in 2007.
Oh, 20 years. 98.
97.
Our CDB says 98.
That's wrong. RCDB is wrong. It opened in
What?
97 and then it closed like after opening and didn't open again until 1998. I'm 100% confident about that.
Oh, wait, you're right. It does say at the bottom. Opened on 6/7/97. Problems. Opened full time in 98.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know they removed the rolls. So wait, they removed they removed the 0G roll 1 year.
Mm-hmm.
Why would you change, like, re-engineer a ride and then close it a year later?
And they replaced it with like bunny hills too. Like I don't really feel like that fits with that ride. As much as I like airtime, and I just went on about liking airtime, I don't really feel like Premiere is the best at producing. All right, we should finish this up so that we can talk about what we need to talk about after.
All right.
All right.
Oh, well, Six Flags Ohio sucked.
But SeaWorld Ohio.
Well,
was
I
nice.
guess Six Flags Ohio, I guess when it was Six Flags Ohio, it was still okay. It was the Worlds of Adventure fiasco that ended the world.
It's the end of the world as we know it. It's the same.
was.
It's the same band that sings. That's me in the corner. That's me. in
That's
the
me in the starlight.
That's... See, but I don't think you would have gotten that, so I think I earned points back for.
So, Steph, I actually grew up going to Geauga Lake. That was actually the park we went to. We were closer to Kennywood, but we went to Geauga Lake a lot. Like, as a kid, most of my memories were from and Idlewild, but that was different.
In Kennywood? Do you have some Kenny?
Huh?
Kennywood too, right?
Yeah, I have some friends. I mean, I have, some, but most of my amusement park memories are from Geauga Lake, like from childhood, because we went there. I don't know why, but we went there more often than Kennywood, I think.
That's interesting. All right.
All right. Ready?
Oh, yeah.
3, 2.
And we're back, and we're talking lake compounds, as Bob preluded to in right before we hit the break. We have a bit of a project overview from a data and analytics website, Dodge, where we can actually see construction. We actually can't see much because a lot of it's blocked out for those that aren't subscribed, part of this website. But we can see that there is a project that is valued at $3 million to $5 million occurring at Lake Compounds.
Yeah,
And the
some kind
rumor
of
is,
expansion.
yeah, there's an expansion, and the rumor is that there'll be at least 3 flat rides that will be a part of this because there was a survey sent out last week that we didn't get to talk about from Lake Compounds that was talking about.
Why not? Is that what you got? I think I don't know for them that survey thing. I thought it was more like they were trying to feel like which one of the 3 they should add.
I mean, I didn't. Did you actually go to the survey?
No, I didn't. Just from what I was reading about it, I didn't get the survey, so
Yeah, so I was thinking it was more like these are the 3 ones we're looking at. You know, give us a thumbs up, thumbs down. What are your thoughts on this ride? I don't know. It could be pick between these 3. Could be we're adding all 3.
I mean, clearly, if they're sending out a survey with them, they're looking. But I don't think it's. I mean, if they're going to add all 3, they were just going to add all 3. They wouldn't bother asking which.
But it could be like
you're doing.
something they're not finalized yet. Like these are the rides we're talking to Zamperla because it's all Zamperla rides about. You know, give us your opinion. Maybe they'll send another one in the future tense with more. I don't know. That's what I was thinking. It was possibly all 3 of these. I wasn't thinking it was a like a deliberation.
I don't know.
Between the 3.
My feeling was it was like they were looking at one of the 3 and they wanted to know everybody's opinion. But either way,
yeah. Most likely, this project will include that type of addition with a flat ride.
Yeah. So this is an interesting thing. If you've been to Lake Compounds, there's kind of a very large gap between the park and the River Rapids ride.
Okay.
So it kind of like makes me think that like they're actually looking to actually like do more like actual physical expansion of the park, like making it bigger, and then they'll add rides in there. It is kind of interesting though, like they're looking for architects, general contractors, project managers, mechanical engineers, structural engineers, electrical. So that would mean to me like they're really like this. This to me feels like this, and I mean these could be completely unrelated. You know, this expansion might be something that's happening down the road, but they're adding a ride for this year. I don't know. It's hard to say. But it's kind of getting me back in the maybe Palace is gonna do some good. It's kind of maybe getting me in that camp. I don't know. I don't really know what to think so much.
I don't know because we saw with Kennywood their TLC that they're introducing to that park this year.
Yeah.
I think that looks great. I think the Lake Compounds edition that they did last year with that, you actually got to experience that. Was that nice? Did it feel nice and upkept when you were there? Because I know they redid the entranceway and they had introduced some new restaurants.
Yeah, I mean, I have no comparison from before, but
Sure,
like,
yeah.
the park looked phenomenal.
Yeah, so
I like it was really a really good park.
Just from the concept
service
art I
up
saw,
there-
it looked great.
People up there were so nice. Like the employees were like just phenomenal. Everybody was willing to help you, and it was not what it was not what Kennywood was like 3 years back. Kennywood is definitely improving. They're not at Lake Compounds level yet, but they're definitely improving. But yeah, like the more I think about it, like yeah, you could tell like what's her boomerang called? I forget.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, the one with like the tunnel, right?
Had a tunnel?
Maybe I'm
Maybe it
wrong.
did.
I think it does. Yeah.
Maybe I'm missing it. I don't know. I mean, it's a boomerang. It's a boomerang without vest.
Isn't it Zoomerang or whatever? And it has like the tunnel.
That's what it is. Something like that. Yeah.
I thought it had a tunnel. Maybe I'm completely wrong. I might be wrong there. But I might be thinking something else. But
You might be right, and I'm not remembering it. Or well, here's the other thing.
where I'm wrong.
You could tell it had just got it had just got a brand new paint job, and it looked really good.
Okay.
I was impressed with that. the work, the Sally Dark ride type. I don't know. I guess it's a Sally Dark ride. That was really phenomenal. Did a lot of work on that.
Mm-hmm.
It was a small park, but a really good park. I very, very much enjoyed that park.
Yeah, and I've heard nothing but great things about that park. I want to get up there, but yeah, sticking to this project potentially. Yeah, with what we saw with Kennywood, just recently announced, and what we saw with Lake Compounce last year, I think this is a good direction for Palace. I think they're really focusing on, kind of like Six Flags, enhancing the experience on a park level, not just introducing new, broad policies such as passes and things like that, where it's situational changes. They're actually implementing changes within the park to actually improve, when you're in the park, the experience, not the process of getting to the park or the process after you leave. Let's focus on actual in-park experience, which is the most important, but it seems like parks have kind of strayed away from focusing on that as much. How do we get you here, and how do we get you to return once you've left? It's been more of the direction parks have been heading, and hopefully this is a continuous trend for Palace.
Yeah, and it seems like, I don't know. It still kind of leaves a bad taste in my mouth what they did anyway, like just pulling the classic rides out. But that being said, they still do have the Turtles, Noah's Ark, Kangaroo.
Knock on wood.
Asterisk. So like there are Old Mill as well.
Yeah,
and they actually reverted that back.
Yeah, returned it to its classic form.
It's not fully classic form, but it's more. It's not Garfield, which is a step in the right direction. So like there definitely is some. They're keeping some of that feel alive. And I just hope they continue that. I guess that's kind of one of the things that kind of worries me a little bit is like, like what happens to the turtle? Like the turtle should be able to be rebuilt and kept going indefinitely.
Sure.
There's not really a reason why that would end. You just keep rebuilding the parts that need rebuilt. It's a stupidly simple ride, but really fun.
It's simplistic, yeah.
It's a lot more fun than people. If you've not rode the turtle at Kennywood,
I have,
because it looks dumb,
childish.
Get on it. Just go ride it. It's not what you think. It's more fun than you'd actually anticipate it being. No, it's not Phantom's Revenge or anything like that, but it's. It's a fun.
It's
ride.
a rush. It was a nice little ride. I enjoyed it.
So I guess you kind of, I don't know. I'm glad to bring Kangaroo back. I hope that it remains the classic feel. I don't know. I'm still a little bit apprehensive of what that ride's going to be like in the refurbished state. Yeah, I don't know. I have a little bit of concern. Glad he's bringing it back. But yeah, Lake Compounce getting an expansion, I think, is definitely I think that's one of the things with Lake Compounce is it could use some more. It's still just a really, really small park. So I think maybe that's something they're actually seeing here, and they're actually realizing that this is something that they need to do. This park just does need a little more to do. Because right now, it is definitely you share that park with Quasi. That's it.
Okay.
you don't necessarily go to
I was like, do they have a water park or something? I was like,
well, they do have a water park,
but it's interconnected. Right? It's not a separate entity.
It is. Yeah, it's part of it. It's like Idlewild, in Six Flags America, or all of the
King's Dominion. Yeah, okay.
But you don't. Most people would not spend an entire day at Lake Compounce. When Daniel and I went up there, we went to Quasi and lake compounds in a single day. We split it, and it was easy. Like we did more than what we wanted to, without any issue whatsoever.
Yeah.
Um,
It's a quick turnaround.
So I think-
it's like you hit some of the rides and you're out. Yeah.
yeah. So I think I think that that might be a sign that they're like, look, we need to put some money into this and we need to make it bigger so that there's more to do here. There's so you can actually spend a full day.
Yep.
So yeah, I mean it's interesting.
Prolong the park experience.
What's that? Oh yes, exactly. And
just so you know, I'm gonna try to fit that word into each and every episode from now on. Just so you know, because I did it last week with Timmy, and I'm like, maybe I should just do this every episode. Fit prolong in there somewhere. Daniel's gonna be loving it.
A lot of people have been saying about Adventureland and how like, oh, why does Palace have to be the park to buy it? I mean, I really think that right now, I hate to see independent parks become part of a chain. I like seeing independent parks thrive on their own, but right now, honestly, Palace is probably still the best chain for an independent park to become part of, because I think they tolerate a lot more than what the other chains would do. Unless Hershey ever would decide to branch out again and say, like,
I don't know
that's
about
one
that
thing.
far, though.
What's kind of interesting, like for the longest time, I know that Hershey actually owned Dutch Wonderland for a while.
Yeah.
But like, I've kind of always wondered if that's something they've ever talked about doing again, is actually branching out to other parks.
I don't know. I think I feel like their main focus would have to be within
just
being Hershey Park,
Yeah.
being that resort destination. I mean, because it already is a resort destination. They have an entire town focused on that park, so centered around that park. So I don't know. I feel like that's probably their priority, first and foremost, by any means. And, yes. So again, we didn't really specify what 3 rides that they were looking at either. So maybe we should talk about that. They were looking at,
we should.
yeah, they were looking at a Nebulas, a Griffin, and the Air Race, like the tower where it flips around. I don't remember. what the
They're all
actual name-
Zamperlas.
They're all Zamperla products, yes. So this will be a Zamperla ride. We weren't fans of or Bob wasn't a fan of the Nebulas because I actually didn't end up riding the one at Mall of America, Dream World or whatever. American Dream. I'm just mixed up like 3 different malls.
Actually, that is not. I don't think that is an air race.
Is it not? Oh yeah, because it doesn't do the flipping motion. I don't think. I think this is just one that goes in a circular pattern.
So actually, an air race is kind of the, except it goes up further. It goes up a tower.
I don't know.
I'm looking. You talk while I look.
Okay, I'll stall. Yes, so the Nebulas is the ride attraction that has like the multiple arms, and they're double-sided, and they actually like flip and rotate almost in a fashion that it looks like they might interconnect and collide with one another, but they don't, because obviously it's engineered to not do that, and they spin around, and it's quite a spectacle to watch. I think that might be what the draw is more than the actual ride experience on this, because we know there are those rides that are specifically meant to give that fair feel, almost like you're at a fair or a county, like a county fair or a state fair. And I think that's kind of what this is. It's a spectacle ride, because Bob didn't actually end up liking it that much, that it wasn't that great of a ride experience. So I think there are certain rides that do target that, because it is a beautiful ride. If you look at the ones that we've seen so far implemented, there's great color schemes, great lighting packages, and again, it's just such a unique and wacky ride to watch, because it looks like it's going to collide with each and every other arm. So it's really cool. And the loading process is cool too, because you actually sit up at the very top if you're not the arm that's extended down to get off. It's pretty cool. So it's a very unique ride. So that would be an interesting fit for that park. And the Griffin is more like it's like the Endeavor, like kind of like the new generation Enterprise that we saw from Zamperla, but it doesn't rotate 90
It
degrees.
doesn't have an arm that
Yeah,
raises
that extends
up like
you
the
up
Enterprise.
and flips you 90 degrees like that, or almost 90 degrees. And then whatever this
So,
air race,
It is actually. It might not. It's actually a Sky Roller,
Sky Roller.
from Ride Entertainment. It might not be a Zamperla.
Oh, all right. Well then, that makes me think this
It's,
might actually
it's
be.
Like Skyhawk at Canada's Wonderland.
Oh, so it is. Okay, it does. It's one that flips you.
Gerslar?
Based on this photo, I didn't think I couldn't really see it that well. I didn't think it looked like one of those, but
Yep. Yeah, that's what it is.
okay, that's what I was originally thinking. But then I saw people saying air race in the comments on Reddit, and I'm like, oh, okay.
So, so I think what happened. So basically, we're going off of some screenshots in a Reddit thread. So the thing is, this is kind of the interesting thing. The Griffin and the Endeavor are the same exact chassis, except the Endeavor raises on that arm.
The same like
Like
body
an
too,
Enterprise
like the actual
does.
structure of like it's the same. It's like a wheel.
Yeah, it's literally the same exact ride, except it's on an arm versus stationary.
Yes.
The air race is literally the same exact thing as Nebula, except the air race goes up a tower. So you're
Okay.
further up in the air, where a Nebula's stays on the ground. So that's where. So I think that's kind of why some people were mentioning air race in there, because they were seeing the nebulas, and I mean it's the same thing was happening. Because people were also talking about the Endeavor, and not like it's very easy to get them confused.
Yeah, I don't know. I just saw that the top comment has somebody say the air race tower thing because
Yeah.
they're referencing that first ride. I don't know, but either way, yeah, that looks like a lot of fun. All of these look like a lot of fun. I think they all could be great additions for this park because, again, Bob, I think you'd say this feels like a Knoebels or a Kennywood. So introducing
Yeah.
more flat rides is always great when in regards to those parks,
Yeah, definitely. It definitely
those
could
type
use
of parks.
some more flat rides.
Yeah.
I think I actually, the more that Sky Roller would actually work well at that park. I think that would be a lot of. I think that would be a good fit.
Yeah. Do they have a drop tower?
They do. They have an SNS.
Ugh,
It's called Downtime.
and they have like a Discovery, I assume, some sort of pendulum ride. Maybe.
Ah,
Because that would be something I would think.
I
fit well there,
feel like
too.
they did.
Did you ride
But
it?
now. No, would that? Now
And now he's got to look that up. So
I am
I'll
gonna
stall
have to
again.
look that up. So you're gonna have to. Yeah.
Well,
You're gonna have
it'd
to
be interesting.
stall
Also,
again.
like, could we see like the big waves? Zamperla. I mean, they look like they're working with Zamperla, and we just saw that with that new water attraction that Zamperla introduced. Where you have the splashdown tower type ride. I don't know. I'm just thinking like out of the box. If we're talking Zamperla, that could also be an addition.
They had the Zamperla Disco, like Cosmic Chaos at Kennywood.
Okay. Ugh.
Oh, I love that ride. So that's why I'm kind of getting that. That's one of those that it's in that same vein. It comes at it from a different angle. That's why there's that feel. I had that feel that there's something like that. Yeah, I don't think they have an actual pendulum. They just had that disco.
All right.
It's called Revolution there.
All right. Well, I think it's time we move on, and I guess you can share your thoughts a little bit before we start because you didn't get to last week with Knott's Berry Farm in Montezuma's Revenge. Our poll was, what do you think's going to happen? Bob, I know you kind of have some thoughts on this, so
Yeah, I think you kind of nailed it last week when you said that if Cedar Fair can ruin a classic ride, they'll do it.
yeah,
And I
seize that opportunity.
Yeah, I'm very disappointed because I'm almost positive that's what's going on here. That flywheel launch is going to go away, and this is going to be the.
See, I wouldn't have agreed
The
with
limb
you
launch.
until we got that tweet after the actual initial tweet,
Yeah.
where it was like,
Well, that
get your last chance on this flywheel launch coaster.
yeah,
wink, wink,
I was
nudge, nudge.
very yeah, I was very suspicious of it, but then when I saw that tweet, that's when I knew. Like I knew pretty much for sure. Like that's it.
Yeah, it's pretty
it's
certain.
It's done.
It's doomed for that fate. Yeah.
And I mean, like honestly, like I hate to say this because I am all about preserving even roller coasters. I'm about preserving them because other people like them. But you might as well just get rid of this thing.
Mhm.
Like this,
It's
the
not.
launch is what made.
It's
this
not
coaster.
Montezuma's Revenge. After you do this, yeah.
I mean, this literally is like, oh, well, Top Thrill Dragster. Like, oh, we'll keep Top Thrill Dragster, but we're going to change the launch. Well, tear the damn thing down. Like, that's what makes the ride. Like, that is the ride. It's the launch. And I don't know. I mean, you know, there's a big part of me that's like, oh, I hope that maybe whoever comes in and does it, like they'll use limb and they'll actually put power behind the limb, so that it accelerates fast. But I don't feel like, especially when I was like on Reddit, there were a lot of people talking about that have rode Psyche Underground. I guess it's Psyche. I guess that's how you pronounce it.
Yeah.
Psych Underground, however you pronounce it. Is it Belgium? Is that where it's
Yes,
at?
I believe it's in Belgium. Yeah.
So it was a flywheel launched Schwarzkopf shuttle loop, and they converted it to a limb launch. And everybody that's rode it before and after said it's just not the same. So I mean, I'm okay with, like, you know, everybody says about the brakes need fixed. Go ahead, fix the brakes. Fix, you know,
Do everything you
change
want except
controls,
change the launch system.
that flywheel launch, like, that's what that ride's all about. I mean, I don't know. I just don't feel like this is one of those things where, like, I don't. It's like Cedar Fair is like, oh, we don't want to get rid of this classic coaster because everybody loves it, so we're going to modify it so that we'll go ahead and get rid of it when nobody likes it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know. Like, I don't know if the popularities. I mean, there's going to be some nostalgia, but at the same time, like, part of that nostalgia is attached to the launch.
Yeah.
So
I think that's what makes we've both said it this week, last week. It's what makes the ride. It is the ride.
yeah,
So modernizing, quote unquote, the ride in regards to the launch is just completely diminishing what that ride is. So it's no longer Montezuma's Revenge. At that point, rename it, retheme it. You know, it's not Montezuma's Revenge any longer.
I mean, it almost doesn't have a point to exist.
Sure, you could even make that point.
I mean, I kind of feel that way. I mean, not that I'm saying, oh, hey, Cedar Fair, go ahead, tear it down. But at the same time, like, if you're going to get rid of the point of the ride, it doesn't much matter anymore.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know. I mean, hopefully, I'm almost positive the flywheel launch is good, and like my only hope is that they will actually, they'll actually preserve that fill. They'll actually somehow at least like have the same fill, and it won't be like a weaker launch. But you know, it's hard to, I don't know. It's just hard to, it's hard to feel like that's going to be the case. I mean, it's like I said, it's been decades since I rode Laser Loop, but that's what it was. It was the launch. The rollbacks, certainly that was fun, but I mean, it was all about the
And the
launch.
loop is fun. I mean, it's all great and dandy, but that launch is really what people are there for.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's hear what
So,
audience has to say about it. Is on this ride. Uh, we got a troll. I like it, though. I like this troll. This is a good troll. Actually, when I saw this the other day, I laughed and I forgot about it. But so John Storbeck, that's this individual's name, who is just the GM of Knott's Berry Farm, actually wrote in. Happens to be the chief. Said it's being removed and a Steel Vengeance clone will be erected. So that's right from the man. I mean, we don't need to talk about this any further, man.
there you go.
I mean, he left his
Improving.
email, johnstorbeck@knots.com. I mean, there you go. And then, to be serious though, Adam Tortorello wrote in. Sorry about that butchering of a name there, but he wrote in and said, and the way he said this is he's pretty certain. So I don't know if he has an insider source or he thinks he does or what, but he said they're modernizing this launch system. We'll get an LSM. They won't remove the launch entirely because the launch is the highlight of the ride, but the flywheel is too much of a maintenance headache currently. So that's his, I don't know if that's his thoughts or if that's his actual, like he thinks that's exactly what's happening or if that's more, I kind of phrased it when I said thoughts, so maybe that's his, presumption, but.
See, I don't understand the whole. I mean, like it's lasted how many years? Like, I don't know. It just that's part of the ride, you know. I get it. You don't want to replace parts, but like,
I don't understand, like
you drive a car, you gotta replace parts.
exactly.
Like
Rides are
it's
investments,
like a maintenance item.
just like cars or houses, or there's costs that come with it. I mean, people are like, oh, they're supposed to sit there and perform, and they don't ever, nothing ever happens. They just run, they just run continuously. Like that is supposed to be factored into a park's budget. Like, hey, we have roller coasters, we have flat rides, we have whatever, even just restaurants require maintenance. Everything requires maintenance. Like everyone's always like, oh, that maintenance has to do work on these rides a lot, and I'm like, that is good. That's why they're there. That's why we have maintenance departments. To a degree,
Yeah.
like I understand that there are certain extents to that, but
See, I think that's where this goes back to kind of what I've been saying. I have that outside fear of Kennywood where it feels like they're reducing their maintenance department. Like Cedar Fair does not do a lot of their rehab work in house.
yeah,
And I think that's where this probably comes down to. If you have a park like Knoebels or certainly what Kennywood used to be, hopefully will remain being, but or you have Hershey Park, like these maintenance items, they do it all in house. There's not really any external charges for doing that maintenance. But if you refuse to do that yourself and you outsource it, now all of a sudden it becomes an expense that shouldn't be an expense, but because of your structure, you make it an expense. And it's just disappointing. I mean, I think going back, like this comes down to Gene Staples, please, like it's on you now for the U.S. Like
it
you
all
are
rests
the
on
only
your
one.
shoulders.
I mean, we don't know. Obviously, this still isn't 100% confirmed, but from what people understand, he owns the former Laser Loop. Like that's in storage somewhere in his possession.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a flywheel launch. So hopefully he's going to build it at a park and he's going to keep the flywheel launch. So Gene, if you're listening, please, 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 if you rebuild that coaster, please make sure you get that flywheel launch on it.
Yeah. All right, let's hop on over to the social media responses we got from Airtime Mike. He said it's closing. He thinks it'll not reopen, which I think they would have already just said that, but maybe that maybe that's a result of the maintenance. Is they go, it's not worth it. But I don't think that's the plan as of now.
Yeah, and I think that's the thing. Like, they're going to invest all this rehab. I'm like, okay, so like you wanted to save all that money and no.
Yeah, possibly. Mm-hmm. And then we had Steph, our friend Steph, write in, who said they retire the flywheel launch, replace it with an LIM, which will make it faster. So that's kind of along the lines of what Bob was thinking originally.
Yeah, see, that's what I originally thought. I thought, it would actually be pretty good rather than using the LSM, because it would at least be, like a forceful launch.
Yeah.
But from what I'm reading about Psyche Underground, that's not actually what happened. So
yeah,
I don't know.
I think it's gonna definitely depreciate that launch quite a bit, regardless of LIM, LSM. And then lastly, we got a response from our good friend, the Conneaut Lake Tumblebug. They said it's getting turned into Blue Streak. So I guess you trade one relic for another, so to speak. If they did remodel it, make it Blue Streak. But no. And we also got a voicemail from the Conneaut Lake Blue Streak, which we're going to listen to right now.
Hello, Coaster Talk podcast listeners. It is me, the ghost of the Tumblebug, and I am here to tell you that you should vote for Tumbili for president in 2024. Oh. And to promote this campaign, I have Tumbili here with me again.
Tumbili's back.
Take it away, Tumbili.
Thank you, Tumblebug. Yes, it is true. I am running for president of the United States in 2024, and if I get elected, my first order as president will be to mandate that every single amusement park in the United States gets a clone of me, as I am the greatest monkey flipping roller coaster of all time. After this, my second order is that Todd Joseph must be thrown in jail. I will also have the top scientist working on a time machine, so he can go back in time and prevent Todd Joseph from buying Conneaut Lake Park in the first place. That's all for now, and remember,
I like this Tumbili guy.
2024.
Thank you, Tumbili. You saving Conneaut Lake Park would mean the world to me, and if I was still alive, I would definitely vote for you.
Oh my gosh.
That's
there we go. That's fantastic. I like this Tumbili guy.
Monkey flip. I'm definitely.
I might be voting for him in 2024. You might have secured my vote.
Indeed.
Oh, all right. Well, appreciate that, Tumblebug. You channeling in Tumbili. We always like to hear from him. It's a great character. And that pretty much wraps up our show this week. A weekly poll for next week will be, what are your 2022 park predictions? As we are now entering the off season at the parks, a lot of Winterfest events just ended up here a couple weeks ago. It's time to talk about what we think we're going to see from 2022.
Yeah. So make this like a concise, pretty quick point, but it can kind of pretty much be any point, whether it be park related, ride related, even just
generalize
a general
it.
trend.
It doesn't need to be specific, as in, I think this roller coaster will derail in the 17th of October at 2:45 p.m. I mean, it doesn't need to be anything that crazy, but yeah. Give us some of your thoughts about the industry for this coming season.
Yeah.
All right, well, again, that does it for this week's show. If you want to answer that poll, you'll go to coasterpodcast.com/poll. If you want to follow us on our social media, where we'll post that poll, but we'll also post content related to the amusement industry, you can follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, at Coaster Talk Pod. You can subscribe to our YouTube channel, where we do our live streams every Thursday night at 9 o'clock. We also have other videos that we produce on that channel. So again, that's Coaster Talk Podcast, 3 separate words. If you want to contact the show with comments, questions, or concerns, you can go to coastertalkpodcast.com/contact. If you want to leave an audio file or reach out to us in a more privatized manner, You can email James at coastertalkpodcast.com or Bob at coastertalkpodcast.com. And lastly, if you want to purchase any of our merchandise, we have a shop for that, coastertalkpodcast.com/shop. Thank you guys so much for listening to this week's episode of the show. And we'll see you guys next week with your 2022 predictions.
Yay.
I did not think the show would be this long.
I didn't either, actually.
Nice and easy. You know what song I've been jamming out to?
What's that?
If you're blue and you don't know where to go to, why don't you go where fashion sits? Putting on the Ritz. Da-na-na-na.
All I can ever think of when I hear that song is Young Frankenstein.
Young Frankenstein, yep. I like the taco version too, but
I do too. I definitely like it as well. Yeah, I just think of Young Frankenstein.
Put on
Ritz!
We both did that at Thursday. That was great. We did not plan that. That was perfect.
I love that movie so much.
It's a great movie.
Frau Blucher. Where were you? You were supposed to neigh like a horse.
I did.
Oh, did you?
I did, yeah.
It
Must not have transmitted.
Yeah.
I did. I was like, nee. As much as I love Gene Wilder in that movie, Marty Feldman I think is my favorite. I love.
Oh,
Marty
yeah.
Feldman. I think Gene Wilder's brilliant, but I mean they're both fantastic. If you're blue and you don't know where to go to. That is a banger though. All right, guys. Well, we're gonna end the stream here. I know you guys don't want to hear about taco, but
You never know. You might.
we're gonna end it here. Appreciate you guys for tuning in as always. Steph and
Yes, thank
Pam, if you're still there, thank you, and whoever else is watching in the future tense, thank you for tuning in. We will see you next week for sure. I'm hopefully going to be releasing some new YouTube videos here soon. So if any of you are interested in that, stay tuned. That is pending. I mean, I need to do that. I still have ones from Bob. Bob sent me a late compounds one. I have one that I haven't edited. It's Halloween Horror Nights. I'm going to be posting Halloween Horror Nights in January.
You don't even remember what park it was.
Yeah, I don't even remember what park it was. I have ones from Halloween Horror Nights. I'm going to be releasing Halloween Horror Nights video in February. I'm so behind, but yeah, that should be coming soon. So look out for those. Bye.
See you guys.